Okay, we're on our way to Costco to go redeem our certificates. So normally I do not go to Costco more than one time a month, which I didn't go all of February. And so this will be like one haul for 2 months. But we actually don't do Costco a lot. I mean, Costco hot dogs, yeah, we do that a lot. But I don't do like big Costco hauls a lot because a lot of the times I'm just always using coupons or rebates and I can get stuff cheaper than I can usually grab it at Costco. There's some things though, like cheddar cheese, sour cream, that I will always grab at Costco because they're just cheaper per unit. So one of the small like money saving tips with these certificates, so this is if you have the executive membership, it does pay for itself. But with the executive membership, if you have the Costco credit card and if you use this to pay down your cart, you lose out on the 2% cash back that the credit card offers. So a lot of the times when I redeem my certificate, I will buy one item, get that cash, pocket that cash, and then use my credit card on the rest. But we're like on such a roll with frugal grocery shopping, so I'm trying not to go over my certificate value. So my certificate value is $72. Let's see how I always get half and half because this mixed with some protein and water, so good for breakfast. Okay, I am back from my Costco haul. So the plan was to be like, hey, let's stay under budget for $72. We didn't even hit that. Like, I think it's because I did such a big haul at like my local Kroger store, and then I had done a grocery delivery for $35 of just like meats and fruit. And then like I'm still trying to go through all my freezer. So like this is all I got. And I really didn't even spend that much. I mean, of course I got the Costco hot dog lunch special, but even with that, I was very surprised. So let me show you what I got. These are just essentials I picked up, and nothing was on instant savings. These are just kind of like my every time I go, I grab and use them throughout like a month or two. Okay, so starting off strong with just some romaine lettuce. This is just so we could do like wraps if we wanted to, or just cut them up into salads. My kids really love salads. I don't know why, but I'm all for it. Half and half, I already talked about this. This is just so good in protein, especially hot in the mornings when it's cold. I do get up really, really early to go to work, like 4:15, so that just like hits the spot, some hot protein. Mini bell peppers. This is my latest obsession lately. Adding this with some sour cream and a dry onion soup packet from Walmart. That is what was in my grocery delivery order. That hits the spot. It's fire. Pitas, so I really like to have these on hand, and not for actually pitas, but for pizzas. We do make our own pizza quite a bit with like our dough. I have a bread maker that has paid for itself time and time again, but I am leaving town a lot this week for work, and so these are kind of really easy to just throw in some pizza sauce, cheese, and pepperoni. So this will help my husband out a lot having this. Of course, rotisserie chicken, that's a must. Sour cream is by far the cheapest at Sam's Club. This one's really good. Not just for the taste, but also the ingredients in it are really clean. I have never bought syrup at Costco, and something I feel like I never will again. That is so huge. $8.99 for these two massive things. Done. And then I just grabbed some of these because I feel like these are really good to keep in my car, especially like my daughter. She's actually quite the social butterfly. It's weird when your kids start making their own friends and then moms kind of fill you in on the plans. Like, so she goes to dance and then I'll get like a text that's like, hey, can Blake come here? Can so-and-so come here? And so-and-so come here? And I just am kind of like, sure. And I'm the chauffeur. So I always like to have these in my car in case we're bouncing around so much, and so they don't get hangry. So this is all that I bought, and it's crazy to me because this was $63, which is a good deal, especially like when we like count how big things are, right? But it's so crazy to me because this back in the day probably cost closer to $50, but you know, these are $4. That's a steal. This is $5. That's a steal. These have never gone up in price, so like that's a steal. But $63, I was very happy that we came in way under budget, which we then of course spent on the Costco and hot dog drinks. Those were a gift. Those were not included in today's haul. My mom loves to give those to my husband all the time, so the gummy bears were not included, but they just happen to be on here. So this is all that I spent, $63.03 pre-tax to be exact. Nothing on instant savings, just kind of things I felt like were essential. These, I think I talked about this in another video, but yes, when I did the $25 a week, we had this a few times where we took rotisserie chicken, added some sour cream and buffalo sauce and ate it on a rice cake, or throw it in one of these with a wrap as a wrap. It is so stinking good. The buffalo sauce is a little bit spicy, but the sour cream really tones it down. It's delicious. And then of course we can use half and half in like any types of soups or things like that. So this stuff's gonna last me a while, especially this big thing and this big thing. And I'm just shocked. I'm shocked we came in under budget, but I'm obviously very happy about it.